Hi guys, good to see everybody. Dr. Saunders. I'm here in our satellite office in the JCC in West Orange. So it's just me in my room. Wanted to do a real quick Facebook Live. I've been getting some specific really good questions on who is this program for, and I want to address that because it's not for everybody. And so I want to make sure if someone's interested in this, they know if it's the right program for them. So basically this program, again, so it's a 7-week all virtual, broken up into tasks each week that we're going to go over in great detail weekly on a Zoom meeting or like a go-to meeting that you'll connect with us on the computer so you'll actually see us. And we're going to go over the goals and the tasks for each week. And I'm going to explain those tasks for each week in just a minute, so you'll have more info on that. This program is great for anyone who's interested in learning more about ketosis, intermittent fasting, fat adaptation, diet variation. Maybe if someone has heard these words before and they think it's something that they might want to do, but they have no idea where to start, this is definitely the program for you. This is also the program if you've heard those things, interested in it, but think you can't do it, definitely the program for you. Also, if you've been playing around with ketosis, fat adaptation, things like that, and want to take it to the next level, this is definitely the program for you. And what I mean by next level is I have some people in a private Facebook group that have kind of played around and dabbled and have done urine strip testing to know that they're in ketosis. If you have been doing that but haven't really gotten into the blood testing yet, which is really where the magic happens, this is a great program for you. And I would consider that kind of like the advanced group that will be in this group. When you start learning how to use the blood testing, that's when you really figure out how your body, in particular, responds to certain foods that will pull you in and out of ketosis. Again, ketosis is something we don't stay in for a long period of time, but you want to know that when you're wanting to go in, you're in. And it's good to know what kind of things will throw you out. So for instance, through specific blood testing, I know that I can have like a bulletproof or like a fat coffee, meaning like a coffee with coconut oil or butter, things like that in the morning, and still be fasting. It doesn't throw me out of ketosis. It actually helps put me in. So that's really important. Who this program is not necessarily for are, people that are... if they have medical conditions, maybe if a doctor wouldn't be comfortable with you fasting, if you're really insulin dependent, this is a group setting, and if you have questions specifically, if it's for you, if you want to message me or email me, let me know what's kind of going on in your life, and I can tell you specifically if this is for you. We also have more one-on-one programs where Jason will work with people. There's a lot of information that we need to know just to keep everybody safe through this process. So this program may not be for you if you have a serious underlying medical condition. Okay. The people that are interested in doing something like this and just feel like they can't, those are definitely people that I would love in the group. I was explaining this to someone last night. I used to be very food dependent. I used to need food every 2 or 3 hours for sure. And if someone told me that I was going to fast, I would not be excited about it. I used to be going back to like elementary school, middle school. I was that girl in gym class that hated running, and I kind of compare that to fasting. If someone told me, back when I hated running, that I was going to be running marathons and doing Ironmans, I would never believe them. But because I started very slow with like a couch to 5K program and worked my way up, I was able to do a marathon no problem. I ended up doing a marathon at the end of a triathlon. So fasting is very much that way. When you go slow and you do it correctly, it not only becomes super easy, you actually feel really, really good. But that's what's key to doing it correctly. Okay, so real quick, because I don't want to make this too long, just a brief description of the things that we'd be doing each week, just so you guys can understand if this is for you. All right, so week 1, we're gonna focus on shifting your body, getting ready to shift your body into ketosis by adding more fat into our diet. And that's going to help you become less dependent on sugar, so that eventually when you start to play around with intermittent fasting, which is going 13 to 15 hours between food in week 3, you'll feel good. So week 1, we just start adding really good fats. Week 2, you're going to start to feel a little bit more fat adapted. You're going to be relying less on that sugar for meals. You're going to feel less brain fog. You're going to feel way more focused. Usually people will start to feel an energy surge here, even though you're not in ketosis yet. And we'll focus on just cutting out snacks week 2, really. So you're just eating meals. That, again, gets your body worked up so that intermittent fasting becomes easier. Week 3, we introduce intermittent fasting, 13 to 15 hours between food. For people that have been doing this for a while, we'll have other goals for more of like the advanced group within these week 1, 2, and 3 as well. But I really just want to speak to people that maybe think that this is overwhelming or not for them. So week 3, because you're spending less time eating, less snacks, you're really your body's focusing less on digesting and more on healing. So this is when people really start to feel good. Workouts usually improve. Recovery from workouts usually will improve in week 3. On week 4, you're really turning into, you're starting to challenge your mitochondria. You're turning over your cells. You're tapping into your subcutaneous fat, because you most likely will start to see some body changes at this point. You start to become more of a fat burning machine. When you burn fat instead of glucose, basically fat burns like gas, and glucose burns like wood on a fire. So with a wood on a fire, you have to keep throwing wood in constantly in order to keep that fire burning. It's smoky, it's messy. Gas, once you tap into fat burning, you light that fire and it burns clean and it burns very efficiently. So that's kind of what you're starting to hit in week 4. Week 5, you're going to start to learn about the feast-famine cycle. This is really important because, again, we don't want to necessarily stay in ketosis all the time. We want to bump in and out. So we want to do just like we're genetically designed to. We want to have periods of time where we're fasting, and because that's when all our bad cells get knocked down. And then we want to time appropriately, which is really important, our feasts, because that's then when you rebuild. So it needs to be timed appropriately, and it needs to be the right kind of fuel to really get the benefits. Week 6, if anyone has downloaded the guide, you'll see it's a 5-day water fast. That is not for everybody. I have not yet done a 5-day water fast, and that's okay. This will be the time for beginners to challenge themselves and maybe push their fast a little bit longer. This will be the time for advanced group to do like a longer, like 3-day, 4-day block fast. So don't let that discourage you. You do not have to do a 5-day water fast. And then week 7, which is really important, is reintroduction into like, how do you use this program going forward? How do you use this as a tool that you can always tap into when you want? So week 7 is like, here you go, you're off into the world, but now you have the tools to do this as you need and when you want. All right, so I hope that helps answer any questions. It's going to be an amazing program. I'm so excited to be offering this, and I really hope that you guys give yourself that little push, try it, right? What do you have to lose? So I'm here to support you. I've done it. If I can do it, anyone could do it, I promise you. So I look forward to working with you. If you have specific questions, feel free to message me. Have a wonderful day.